Going over the top strategies this week, it's been a choppy couple of weeks in trading. So I want to point out the highlights, focus on the positives. The portfolios have been updated on the website, and so they're up on the month, but a 2-week choppy period with this. So let's look at Cobra 3, E-mini S&P. This is one of our top strategies, and as you can see, it's been making equity peaks here recently. This only has, 5 months back. I've been trying to optimize the amount of time on need on each one of these to save memory, computer hardware memory in real time, since it has so many charts. And so this one has 5 months going back. You only need 5 months in Cobra 3 E-mini S&P. So 69 trades during this period of time. A challenging period where, early in January, this market was just a nice, smooth bull market, and then the pandemic hit. I mean, there was just beginning to be discussions of the pandemic, and then we've had pandemic, and then massive Fed stimulus, and now potential pandemic again. We've had negative prices in some of the commodities, and so here's how this strategy has worked. It's been actually more profitable on the long side, and there are some big trades on the short side as well. So your risk to reward on the long side is easier. Plus 84.50, 33, 37.50 max drawdown, larger on the short side. It's hard to short this market with the amount of support in this market fundamentally from the Federal Reserve. Agree or disagree, that's just a fundamental that is there that we have to trade around. Yesterday, for example, the market made this low at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, an hour and a half into the trade. And so after about the first hour and a half, there was not really much of a net change in the day. You see that low there? If you put a line across that low, most of the rest of the day was above that first hour and a half sell-off. You see a little bit of a trade down here, but just a lot of support down here at 3,000 to hold it up above 3,000, and trying to keep the support above 3,000. A lot of people that want to invest look for these pullbacks and use these levels. I don't find them to be a good trade most of the time. Every now and then you'll catch a good level trade, like a solid number like 3,000 or 2,950 or 2,900. But I think we're due for some more weakness. But either way, Cobra 3 E-mini S&P, one of our top strategies, hitting equity peaks. Let's go over some of the others. This is Cobra 3 E-mini Nasdaq. You see some trades on this. 5-month period, same as E-mini S&P. 85.50, $5,000 drawdown. Again, easier to trade the long side than the short side. You see the long 78.90, $4,000 drawdown. On the short side, the net is plus 660, 32.15 drawdown. There's only 16 short trades and 29 long trades. And keep in mind, I do have these going back 5 months, but the first trade, when you take a look at it, is on 325. So first trade on 325, trying to minimize the amount of memory required by minimizing the amount of data on each workspace. So 5 months on Cobra 3 E-mini Nasdaq. Another one of our top strategies, it made an equity peak earlier this month on June 9th and came close here. Some nice trading here on these days. Yesterday it had got in here on this counter trend rally, was stopped out. Fairly tight stop loss in this market, $600. And so we've talked about trading this without a stop loss just for fun. I'm going to pause the video and change this to no stop loss over the last 5 months to see how it would have done during the pandemic without a stop loss. And let's first take a look at the worst losing trade is 625. The largest winning trade is 44.20, and I'm going to change the stop loss to no stop loss. So much greater net profits on these. Your largest winning trade is 94.95. Your largest losing trade is 56.85. Your max drawdown is 11.965. We are not throwing caution to the wind when we do this. Yesterday's trade ends up being profitable because it's not stopped out so quickly. We're not throwing caution to the wind when we do this. What we're basically and virtually saying is that we are managing this strategy based on a worst case drawdown or the drawdown of the portfolio. We're when you do this, you're not micromanaging each trade and saying, okay, each trade has to be a winner, or I can only risk so much on this trade. We are risking so much of the account on the portfolio and treating the portfolio like one strategy. And when you do something like this, you might have to back off to micros instead of minis. We have the micros now, and so the difference between 8,800 and 50,000 is pretty big. I don't know what the rest of the year holds, but we're halfway in, and the VIX is holding pretty firm in the 30s. And so adjusting for stop losses may be something that needs to be done. Still looking at that for volatility setups, but really like the way this net profit as a percentage of drawdown increases. And again, you're managing risk on a portfolio level and not on an individual trade level. SR counter trend 2 V2 E-mini S&P 7650, 825 since the last 7 months. Here is the equity curve. 86% of these trades are profitable. 22 in that time period. Has a long history and works on a lot of markets. So it's one of the best variations of SR counter trend 2 V2 QS3, one of the top strategies as well. One of my favorite strategies to trade. It actually lost yesterday. And any strategy can go from cold to hot or hot to cold. So one of the things about this strategy is in November it was doing so poorly we thought about taking it out, but we added it because it helped the portfolio because the way it trades is more diverse. And so it's really paid off. It is long only, 10,400 over the last 7 months, and 1450 drawdown, 325 average trade profit, 65% profitable. This is the one of the more ideal types of strategies that most people enjoy looking at, this type of equity curve and trade frequency and average trade profit. So this is a very short record, and there's more volatility, and these numbers go down as far as average trade profit. Drawdown goes up over a longer period of time, and like I said, it was down going into October, and now it's come back. And so this is a short track record. One of the top strategies in recent performance is QS3 in Q. Tick pullback in Q, couple of recent good trades here. Let's look at the performance summary going back, I guess, 7 months. 88.65, 24.45 drawdown, 443 average trade profit, and a short record here. I like this profit factor as well, 55% profitable. And this has a $700 stop loss that's very tight for the E-mini Nasdaq. And this is one of our top strategies in recent performance as well. This is our SR counter trend 2 V2 5M E-mini Nasdaq. 3 out of the last 4 trades were profitable. And you see the performance summary here, 80% profitable. This is going back 7 months, 80%, 56.30, 8.75 drawdown. And so we're just mainly focused on some of the highlights of the current strategies that are doing well in this market, keeping in mind that historically there has been more volatility, and going forward, any strategy that's hot can go cold, or it can stay hot, or cold strategies can get hot. And so we have a mixture of trend and counter trend strategies that are in a drawdown, strategies that are in a run up, and that's the best way I've found to diversify. And you want strategies that work well and in the past, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have 10 trend following strategies that are all at equity peaks. And so that's one thing we guard against, and one thing you may have done like me when you first started trading diverse portfolio strategies, is to trade very similar type strategies and made sure that they were all at equity peaks when you started trading them, and you don't want to do that. This is Gold Flash 2020. We readjusted this to expand for volatility in gold. The ranges in gold are much larger here. You see a 30-point range in gold from on Friday from around 10:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until the close. So pretty big range, 30 points in gold in that time period, and larger than it has been in recent years. So we've adjusted this strategy, and it's been on a good streak recently over the last 7 months. And let's take a look at the performance stats. So good stats. These are some of the strategies that I want to share with you that are doing well during this time period, some of the best strategies. And I've updated all the portfolio performance reports as well on the website. Let me know if you have any questions on those. and we are always focused on developing new strategies as well. I'm making another video on a new strategy.